In this video, we will tell you about the mysterious story of a 38-year-old Dutchman named Johan Jacobus Kootte, who was attacked by a polar bear on the Arctic island of Spitsbergen. The incident misled authorities and local residents, leading to an immediate increase in security in the region. Welcome to Beast Claw. Polar bears are majestic and powerful creatures, but they can also be dangerous to humans. These bears are found in the Arctic regions of the United States, Canada, Russia, Greenland, and Norway, and they are the largest carnivores on land. While polar bears are generally not aggressive towards humans, they have been known to attack people in certain circumstances. One of the main dangers posed by polar bears is the potential to attack humans in search of food. Polar bears are opportunistic predators and scavengers, and they have been known to raid campsites and other human settlements in search of food. This is especially true in areas where polar bears are coming into increasing contact with humans due to the melting of the Arctic ice sheet, which is happening as a result of climate change. Spitsbergen is the largest island of the Swalbard archipelago, which is located in the Arctic region between Norway and the North Pole. The island is home to a variety of wildlife, including polar bears, Arctic foxes, reindeer, and seals. It is also home to several human settlements, including the town of Longyearbyen, which is the largest settlement in the archipelago. Johan Jacob had always been fascinated by the natural world, and he dedicated his life to exploring and studying the flora and fauna of the world's most remote and untamed places. He was an accomplished conservationist and wildlife explorer with a deep understanding of the complex and interconnected systems that sustain life on Earth. At the beginning of August 2020, camp leaders on Spitsbergen run into a bit of a problem. Their 19-year-old employee can't come to work. Michelle Van Dyke, the Swalbard camp owner, decides to call John and offers him a temporary position. John had been working seasonally as a site manager since 2018 and was not at his best financially at the time, so he happily accepts the job and goes to Swalbard. On Thursday, August 27, 2020, Johan Jacobus Kootte was camping with a group of friends at a remote campsite near Longyearbyen, the main town on the Swalbard archipelago. At 4:00 a.m., it was still dark outside when Johan was awoken by a loud noise outside his tent. As he tried to get up and see what was happening, he was suddenly confronted by a large polar bear. The bear must have been attracted by the smell of food, and it had apparently been scavenging through the campsite, looking for something to eat. Johan was completely unprepared for the sudden attack, and he had no way to defend himself. The bear mauled him severely, leaving him with serious injuries. Kootte was taken urgently to the Longyearbyen hospital, where he was later declared dead. 6 persons, including 3 Germans, an Italian, a Norwegian, and a Finn, were hospitalized for shock despite there being no other injuries. A polar bear was later found dead in a parking lot near the airport after being shot by bystanders. The bear that killed Kootte was actually a 3-year-old male that had been frightened out of Hyderabad, a cabin across the harbor from Longyearbyen, at the start of the tragic week. It was the son of a female bear that had regularly visited the same location before being put to sleep and transported by helicopter to the northern region of East Jordan with her new cub. This could be the same mother bear who made an annual migration through the region in the late summer and early fall. Because of the COVID-19 problem, the campground, which is normally open until early to mid-September, was closed the entire first half of the summer. Although there were staff on duty at the campground during that time, and facilities with a kitchen and other amenities were built, campground rules stipulate that visitors are responsible for their own safety. Despite the many dangers and challenges he faced in his work, Johan Jacobus always approached his adventures with a sense of wonder and a fierce determination to make a difference. His colleagues and friends knew him as a kind and compassionate person who was always willing to lend a helping hand or offer a word of encouragement. Johan Jacobus' untimely death was a shock to all who knew him, and his loss was deeply felt by the global conservation community. His legacy lives on in the many discoveries he made and the causes he championed, and he will be remembered as a pioneer and a hero who dedicated his life to the betterment of the planet and all its inhabitants. Since 1973, polar bears have been protected as a species, and shooting them is only legal in self-defense. However, residents of Swalbard are urged to carry weapons outside of populated areas. The last fatal polar bear attack on Swalbard was in 2011, when a British schoolboy was attacked and killed in his tent near Von Post Glacier. There are 3,000 people living on the Spitsbergen Islands, along with 1,000 bears. However, seasonal visitors are on the rise, which experts predict will only result in an increase in bear sightings. The most recent incident is likely a continuation of a long-term trend of increased bear activity near settlements due to vanishing sea ice, elsewhere keeping them from traditional hunting sources. According to John Ars, a polar bear expert with the Norwegian Polar Institute who frequently conducts research and advises the governor on polar bear incidents near settlements. As the sea ice melts, polar bears are being forced to travel greater distances in search of food, and many are struggling to find enough to eat. This is leading to declines in their population sizes, and some scientists believe that polar bears could be extinct within the next few decades if urgent action is not taken to address the root causes of their decline. The extinction of polar bears would be a devastating loss for the planet and for all of us who share it. These incredible animals are an important part of the Arctic ecosystem, and they play a vital role in the health. It is therefore essential that we do everything in our power to preserve polar bears in the wild and to ensure that they have a future on our planet. This will require a concerted effort by governments, organizations, and individuals around the world to reduce our impact on the environment and to address the root causes of climate change.